Hey everybody, it's Wednesday, April 15th. I'm going to show you how to find the domain of a square root function. And notice underneath the square root, it's a degree 2, x squared minus 4x minus. It's a trinomial, can't combine any terms, and we have to find the domain of this square root function. Well, on a square root function, you have to remember square roots of negative numbers are imaginary numbers. Well, you cannot have imaginary numbers in your domain. Everything in your domain has to be a real number, and it has to be defined. It cannot be undefined. So to answer this question here, what's the domain of a square root function? You're going to set what's underneath the square root to be greater than or equal to 0, because the square root of 0 is 0. The square root of any positive number we can find. Your calculator can do it. You and I can do it. But square roots of negative numbers are imaginary numbers. So I need to solve this degree 2 inequality. And now it's a problem very similar to the one that I showed you yesterday. So we factor it. Numbers that multiply to 21 that have a difference of 4. Well, that'd be 7 and 3. The middle term is negative, so the larger number 7 has to go beside the negative. So the 7 goes there, the 3 goes here. That's how she factors. Now that we have it factored, you're going to set each factor equal to 0 to get our critical numbers. So our critical numbers are going to be negative 3 and 7. Two critical numbers is going to set up 3 testing slots. So this is our testing area. A number that we're going to test that's smaller than negative 3 would be negative 4. A number that is between negative 3 and 7 I'm going to test is 0. And a number bigger than 7 that I'm going to test would be 8. So we can either do this test right here or on the factored part. It doesn't matter because it's the same thing, just has a different look. So I'm going to put negative 4 in right there. I'm going to plug in here and see what happens for me. So when I plug negative 4 in for x and do my math, negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. 16 and 16 is 32. 32 minus 21 is 11. Is 11 greater than or equal to 0? Yes, it is. So a big yes goes in here. When you plug in 0 for x, alright, you'd have 0 squared minus 4 times 0 minus 21. So you'd have 0 there, you'd have 0 there. Leaves you with negative 21 is greater than or equal to 0. Well, is negative 21 greater than or equal to 0? No, it's not. So it's a big no here in the middle. And then whenever you test out the 8, as I said yesterday, it's going to alternate if you do your math right on this testing area. So it's either going to go yes, no, yes, or no, yes, no. So this is going to go yes, no, yes. Just to prove that, that's true, if you plugged in 8 for x and did the math, you would get 8 squared is 64. Negative 4 times 8 is a minus 32. Minus 21. 64 minus 32 is 32. 32 minus 21 is 11. Is 11 greater than or equal to 0? Yes, it is. So it goes yes, no, yes. So what's the domain of this square root function? Remember, your critical numbers are always involved in your answer, not the numbers that you tested with, but your critical numbers. So the domain of this function, if I could find a spot to put the answer down. The domain of the square root function is going to be from negative infinity up to negative 3. It has a bar, so I put a bracket. union symbol, takes care of the word or, bracket, 7 to infinity. So the domain of this square root function is sitting right here in interval notation.